Small steps lead to big changes. Namaskar, welcome to Next IS. I hope you are doing well. In this video, we are going to cover major headlines of the Hindu, Indian Express, and Press Information Bureau. So, without wasting any time, let's start today's discussion. And your first article focuses upon finance bill, which was recently passed in Lok Sabha, and it includes measures like abolition of 6% digital tax on online ads and marginal relief for taxpayers exceeding 12 lakh income, with no tax liability up to 12.75 lakh for salaried individuals. Finance Minister also announced the removal of import duties on 35 items for electric vehicle battery production and 28 items for mobile phone battery manufacturing. This move aims to boost domestic production and enhance export competitiveness by reducing duties on raw materials. Next article is related to Katchatheevu Island, which is an uninhabited island in the Pak state, and it is located between Tamil Nadu and northern Sri Lanka. The ownership dispute dates back to 1921, with both India and Sri Lanka claiming the island, but the issue was resolved in 1974 and 1976 when India and Sri Lanka signed agreements recognizing Katchatheevu as a part of Sri Lanka. The agreements also defined the maritime boundaries between the two countries, regulating fishing rights within their exclusive economic zones. But now the Supreme Court will hear the case in September 2025, with petition arguing the agreements were unconstitutional. The central government had previously stated that Katchatheevu was never part of India. Next article talks about India-China relations because recently both the countries discussed the early resumption of cross-border cooperation, including on trans-border rivers and the Kailash Mansarovar Yatra. Both sides agreed to prepare for the next special representative meeting in India, and they also reviewed situation along the line of actual control. They focused on enhancing border management and maintaining peace for better bilateral relations. Next article talks about in-house inquiry, and it is in the news because recently Chief Justice of India Sanjeev Khanna initiated a three-member in-house inquiry into the conduct of Delhi High Court Judge Justice Yashwant Verma after currency notes were found in his residence following a fire. Now let's know more about in-house process. It allows for an inquiry into judicial misconduct where CGI forms a committee to investigate and make recommendations. The in-house procedure was introduced by the Supreme Court in 1997 to address bad conduct by judges that does not meet the high bar for impeachment. The process involves the CGI or Chief Justice of High Courts examining complaints against judges. And here you must know that this procedure was revisited in 2014 following a sexual harassment case, with Supreme Court clarifying 7 steps process for handling complaints. And friends, impeachment of judges is a constitutional process requiring a two-thirds of majority vote in both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, whereas in-house inquiry is an internal judicial process. And here you must know that judges can only be removed through the impeachment for proved misbehavior or incapacity as per Article 124, Subclause 4 and 218 of the Indian Constitution. Now, next article is related to India-Singapore relations because recently both the countries signed a letter of intent to develop a green and digital shipping corridor during the Singapore Maritime Week, and the collaboration will focus on maritime digitalization and decarbonization, and it is aimed to accelerate the adoption of zero-emission technologies and digital solutions. Now, next article talks about UN World Water Development Report 2025, which was recently released by the UNESCO, and it highlights rapid glacier melting, permafrost thawing, and reduced snow cover due to climate change. These changes increase the risk of glacial lake outburst floods and contribute to rising sea levels. Therefore, the report calls for greater awareness, policy changes, and resource mobilization to protect mountain ecosystems and communities dependent on glacier water. Next article talks about equalization levy, and it is in the news because recently government has proposed abolishing the 6% equalization levy on online advertisements effective from April 1st, 2025. This move aims to ease trade tensions with the US, which criticized the levy as discriminatory against American tech companies. Here you must know that equalization levy was introduced in 2016, and it taxed payments exceeding 1 lakh annually for digital ads from non-resident providers, affecting companies like Google, Meta, and Amazon. Now, next and last headline is related to Balpan ki Kavita initiative, which was recently launched by the Ministry of Education to compile nursery rhymes and poems in all Indian languages and English. And here the aim is to help young children at the foundational stage learn through joyful and relatable poems in their mother tongue. So with this, let's conclude today's discussion. Thanks for listening, and for regular updates, you can follow us on various social media platforms.